Probably, I'm probably in Metropolis. I do this for the love, so this is non-profit shit. I'm bored walking, so you can call this monopoly. Obviously, my approach to music ain't moderate. As my macabre spins, I am the anomaly. I love all my haters, cause my haters is what got me here. Strangers hate vibing me.
Welcome back to another episode of the A-Flo Show podcast for July 2nd, 2014. Doing episode 64 here, once again in Lubbock, Texas, in the Double T Studios. And today, I have a very, very special guest joining me from Kansas, the former Iowa State Cyclone soccer player, former Lubbock Monterey Plainsmen great, Jennifer Dominguez. Jennifer, how is it going?
It's good. How are you?
I'm good. So, you are currently right now in Kansas, is that what I understand?
Yep, I'm currently in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm currently working on my master's degree here at KU, and I'm working full-time for the athletics department doing compliance.
Compliance. What exactly is compliance?
Compliance is all your NCAA rules and regulations, you know, that crazy little thing that everyone's after, the NCAA. I'm helping, making sure everything is in line, and, you know, we're doing things by the book over at KU.
KU. So how did you end up in KU? Is that where you wanted to go, or just?
I ended up at KU. I interned at Iowa State in the compliance office for a couple of years while I was a student athlete there still, and kind of the opportunity just kind of popped up through kind of like all the compliance directors in the Big 12, and you know, I jumped at the opportunity, interviewed, talked to the staff here at KU, and like loved them. And they have a great sports management program, which is what I'm doing my master's in. I was kind of willing to go wherever the wind takes me. So this is where I ended up.
And what do you want to do with your master's? Just work with athletics?
Yeah, I want to work with athletics. You know, definitely the ultimate goal is probably to be an athletic director.
Okay.
Someday. But I've kind of found my niche in the compliance office, and I enjoy doing that, some research, rules and monitoring, that type of stuff. So it's cool. It's a little different than, you know, your other aspects of athletics, but I enjoy it.
How much more longer till you get your master's?
It'll be a year and a half. So I guess next December, I would say I'll have my master's. Trying to get through it a little fast, just so that I can get out and, you know, get myself a real job somewhere in the compliance office.
Mm-hmm. How's Lawrence treating you?
Lawrence is pretty good. It's pretty comparable to Ames, I would say. So I was up in Ames for the last 5 years, so that the transition was pretty smooth, pretty easy, and the people in Lawrence are great. You know, the athletic department, everybody there is awesome. So I'm loving it so far. That's
nice. That's good. So let's go back to your days here in Lubbock in high school.
Yeah.
You went to Monterey, and were you like a 3-sport athlete? Was that correct?
Yeah, I did. I only played varsity basketball my freshman and sophomore year, but I was a 3-sport athlete. Soccer and golf kind of were the other two that I lettered in the rest of the time. But yeah, so kind of just have found myself still being an athlete as the way goes.
Favorite sport out of the 3?
Soccer, definitely. Soccer is definitely the favorite.
So why'd you quit basketball after your sophomore year?
What's it called? You know, I just, you know, I didn't love it as much as the other two, and I kind of just wanted to get out of it. Me and the coach kind of didn't really get along too well. But I guess to keep it in layman's terms, but I just, you know, found my niche in soccer and golf back in high school, so I just kind of stuck with those.
What is your best score in golf in your whole life?
My best score in golf in my whole life. I would probably say, it was in high school, I want to say senior year, some point in time, I had a 74, 75, somewhere around there. I do remember that it was like in Abilene.
Okay.
At a tournament there. But other than that, so. Other than that, kind of the high 70s, low 80s.
You still golfing?
Every once in a while when the weather's nice. Try to get out here in Kansas, but it rains every day, it feels like.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
Here.
I was about to ask you that. How's the weather up there?
Well, it's hot,
Hot.
and it's not a Lubbock dry heat hot. It is a humid, gross, sweaty hot, and it rains a lot. So, but I'm still trying to get used to it.
Uh-huh. You ever plan on moving back down here to Lubbock, or you gone for good?
I think I'm gone for good.
Uh-huh.
I would like after Kansas, to get out somewhere a little different, either the West Coast or the East Coast, and experience a little something different. But I think that when it's all said and done and time to settle down, I'm probably going to find myself back in the Midwest somewhere. I don't know. Iowa treated me right in college and during my undergrad, so I just kind of fell in love with it.
Well, let's talk some Iowa State. Why did you initially want to go to Iowa State? I mean, you had Texas Tech here in your backyard. Why did you choose to go up north?
Went up north to Iowa State because, I had gotten a few looks from some smaller schools for soccer, but I decided that I'd rather not play soccer at all and go to the school I love. And my godparents both graduated from Iowa State, so I've been leading Cardinal and gold through and through since I was probably 10 years old.
Really?
Yeah, really.
So you never...
I still, to this day, wore a jersey to every home basketball game that I got for my 10th or 11th birthday.
Yeah.
An Iowa State basketball jersey for every home basketball game at Iowa State, and I don't know. I just fell in love with the Cyclones when I was a kid, just because of my godparents, and so I was happy to come up here. That's kind of what drew me, and having my godparents here helps a lot too, because they were my family, even though I was so far away from home.
Talk a little bit about the recruiting process. Did Iowa State not recruit you from the start?
No, Iowa State did not recruit me, and that's actually a funny story. I went the entire first semester of my freshman year in fall of 2009, and I was just a regular college student. I didn't do anything. I joined a sorority. I, got involved in other campus organizations at Iowa State, just was attending class. And it wasn't until January I, emailed the coach, and I said, hey, I'm interested in talking to you about trying out or something of that, that caliber or whatever. And that's kind of how it all, spiraled from there.
And you tried out, and they liked you. I mean, from what I see on your stats, you were a pretty good player.
Yeah, I tried out. For tryouts, it's pretty unusual. It's pretty unusual for, I guess, a tryout to come in the middle of the year for soccer.
Really?
And I guess just kind of in general. But for the NCAA, you have a 14-day tryout period per se. And so, practice in the spring season for soccer starts officially February, between February 10th and February 16th or something like that. Is when the official practice date starts. So what it was for that whole kind of half of a month, I was just kind of working out and trying to sort of get fit for this tryout, because I didn't know what it was going to entail. But it was just me throwing me into practice and practicing for a few days before the coach pulled me aside one morning and said that she'd like to offer me a spot on the team. And from there, I guess it's history.
And Texas Tech, they had no contact with you at all?
No contact with me at all. Never said a word to Coach Stone or any of his staff until my first time ever playing Texas Tech. So that was probably first time I had.
And what did he say?
Well, he said good game.
Okay.
That was about it.
Oh, okay. So he didn't know you were from Lubbock or anything?
Well, he knew I was from Lubbock. He didn't. But I mean, I think it was after the fact that I was already on the team, and I think it was probably after he saw me making an impact of some sort that he kind of realized who I was. But Coach Stone's a little bit different style of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have been as successful at Tech as I was at Iowa State? I don't know. But I think I was in the perfect place. And I don't think I would have wanted to play for any other team. So.
It says here in 2011 you scored a game-winning goal against Texas Tech. You remember that?
Yes. I do remember that. That probably has to have been, probably one of my top 5 favorite goals
Really?
I ever scored. It was in double overtime, and, extra time in college is not like professional, what we've been seeing here in the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's golden goal. So, it was a battle. I remember we battled back and forth with them the whole game, and there was chances that they could have put it away early, and we could have put it away early, and it was kind of like a whirlwind. I think it was a counter. I remember, and one of the players our outside back served it in, and I tried to get it first time, bounced back. For some reason, it came straight to me. I just remember putting it in, but probably one of the coolest feelings ever. Scoring the goal on your hometown team.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets much better than that.
Was that in Lubbock or was that in Ames?
It was in Ames.
In Ames. And, when you score that, is the game over right away? Or do y'all keep playing?
When you score that, when you score the goal in extra time in college, the game's over. It's done. So that was it. Storm the field at that point. So it was fun.
And no disrespect here, but I'm just asking because I don't know. How were y'all as a team? I mean, did y'all ever go far in the Big 12 tournament or make a NCAA tournament?
We never made the NCAA. No, we never made the NCAA tournament, and this past year, 2013, was the first time we made the Big 12 tournament in, I want to say 6 years, 7 years, something like that. It was a work in progress. It's been kind of one of those series where you've been trying to find the right pieces to fit the puzzle. You've got some here, some there, and finally, I feel like this year was the year it kind of clicked, and I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited for what Iowa State has. We did get a new head coach, so it's only looking bright here for Iowa State soccer.
Who's the coach up there?
Tony Minata. Tony Minata is the new head coach. He was the assistant for the last 2 years before that. So.
Okay, so this is 14 will be his first year, or 13 was his first year?
13 was his. No, I wouldn't call it a year. We let our head coach go prior to the Big 12 tournament, and they put Tony in as the interim head coach for the Big 12 tournament and postseason and such, and then he was officially hired, I think, a couple months later. So 14 will be his first official go at it.
Okay. He got a good system, good program up there?
Great system, great program. He is probably one of the most knowledgeable soccer minds I've ever met, I would say. And he is so dedicated, so hardworking, and he just brings the perfect mentality, work ethic, and just, skill set, I think, for this job. So.
Do you ever plan on coaching, or have you ever wanted to coach? Is that something you want to do?
It's never something, I wouldn't say it's not something like I would want to jump into it right now. I think I always want to try and stay involved in the game in some sort of way. But I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying the administration route right now, doing administration. So we'll see. Maybe later on, maybe in a year, who knows, maybe in a year or two, I'm going to hate administration and want to go into coaching. But I always want to be involved in the game of some sort, and whether or not that's, club or college, we'll see.
Where did y'all recruit players from, like up in Iowa? Was there a good soccer pool in Iowa?
Yeah, I mean, soccer is growing pretty rapidly in Iowa. We've got Iowa, the University of Iowa has a good program as well. And but yeah, we've got a lot of kids out of there. We get a lot of, kind of all over the country. Iowa State, we have about 7 girls from Colorado. We've got, a couple from California, Texas, Omaha, Nebraska's a big, city that we grabbed some from. Kansas City, St. Louis. St. Louis is packed with soccer talent as well. So those typically, in Minnesota as well, those are typically kind of the states that a lot of, I guess the current team right now has a lot of girls from. So kind of all over, It just really depends.
The University of Iowa, they have a soccer program, women's?
Yeah, University of Iowa does have a women's soccer program.
So for you, who was your biggest rival? Was it Iowa? Was it Kansas? Was it Texas Tech? Did you have a personal rivalry with somebody?
Personal rivalry, I would always have to say Tech. Just from being from Lubbock, that would probably be my own personal rivalry. Team-wise, university-wise, probably I was, Iowa, but, on any given day, it could be anybody in the Big 12. I think we've had our close games and tight games with just about anybody in the conference. So I wouldn't really say we have a conference rival, but personally, Tech, definitely.
Okay. Did you like the schedule, how soccer, where you play a Friday night and then you play again on Sunday in conference?
Yeah, I actually did really enjoy that. It was nice, just because, I was one of those people that didn't like missing a whole lot of class, but it was good. I thought, some days as the season went on, it was tough on your body, obviously, playing a 90-minute match on Friday night, and especially if you went into, you went into extra time, then it's a little more wear on your body, and then you had to get, kind of get going. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It might be better on the body if you put a game Friday and then Tuesday of some sort, but that just jumbles up the whole schedule. You're missing more class and all that stuff. But yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm. How is travel like? Do y'all guys fly? Y'all charter bus?
It just depends. It just depends on where the game was. We flew to most places. Drove. Depends if it was 4 hours. We would drive anywhere over 4 or 5. We would go ahead and we'd fly. So typically travel day would be a Thursday, and then travel day also would be on a Saturday if we were playing in a different city on Sunday.
Yeah. Did you like to travel?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I actually enjoyed it because, you get to see other parts of the country, and you get to, experience different universities, so different things. And it was fun, and especially if you have a really good team, a great team chemistry atmosphere, doing all those things together, spending that time, that's what builds the, I feel like that's what builds the on-field chemistry right there, is if you have that off-field chemistry as well.
So out of all the places you've been to, what's your favorite location or favorite campus or favorite field or
favorite field? Favorite place to travel / or university to go to would be Stanford. That was pretty cool.
Is that the farthest y'all traveled as a team?
Yeah, we went to California for 5 days. We played Santa Clara and Stanford this past fall. But those two places, going to those two places, just kind of knowing how historic those were in terms of soccer and how great of programs each one of those were. That was probably my favorite trip. One that I think favorite university to be at would definitely Stanford. It's just phenomenal. The facilities are incredible. Mm-hmm. So that was it. Favorite city to always travel to, Omaha, Nebraska. I love Omaha. Don't ask me why. I love the people. I love the people. I love, I just love everything about it. And we always went there. We always played we played Creighton, University of Omaha at Nebraska is there too. We've played them. So we've at least made a trip to Omaha once a year. Sometimes we've made it twice. And I don't know. I just love it. City's great.
How about the city or place you dislike the most? That you hate?
City I dislike the most.
Waco?
I wouldn't say I dislike the city the most. I would say that I've been to a lot of boring cities.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Okay.
Not really dislike, but boring cities. And there's not much to do in South Dakota.
Okay.
So there's just fields when you look out the window of your hotel. So not a lot of fun.
How about the number 16? Is there a story behind why you chose the number 16?
Yeah, actually, I chose number 16 because I was told I was offered a spot on the team on February 16th, 2010. 16 happened to be a number still open. I think 16 was my number in high school, but my number in high school really had no relevance or significance to me. But yeah, so I was told February 16th, 2010 at 8 in the morning. That's when Coach pulled me aside and offered me a spot on the team to walk on. And so when I got the email, about choosing numbers and year and all that kind of stuff, 16 was available. So I just kind of jumped at it and stuck with it.
Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy high school soccer? I know y'all had a tough time with coaching changes and all that, but was it a fun time?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun.
You were a captain for what, 3 years, right? And
yeah. High school soccer is very disorganized, I feel like you could testify to this too. It's, I don't know. I feel like it's that one sport that you got like 45 kids going out for, and you've got like one person in charge that's got a million other things going on.
Yeah.
We're not really, and it's not really the most respected sport either. So, at least on the high school level. But I had a great time with it. I thought it was fun. So, and then I think anytime just getting out on the field and playing is fun. And especially, being done now, you got to think back and you got to, appreciate those times that you were able to play.
Do you still keep in touch with any of the girls?
From high school, I really don't. I really don't, keep in touch with, maybe every once in a while I'll see somebody if I'm home or, occasional text message here and there, but with one or two of the girls, but not really, not a whole lot of contact with any of my high school teammates.
Okay. Just curious. What has been your best moment in your soccer career? Can you think of one? That might kind of be too hard, but...
Best moment. I would definitely say, making the Big 12 tournament this past year would be a good moment. It was getting somewhere, and it was finally realizing, 4 years of hard work come together. That's definitely, I would say that's definitely like my best moment. Celebrating with my team, and collectively coming together to get something done that we've always wanted to do.
Was Paul Rhodes proud of y'all?
I would hope so. And I'm going to throw this out there. Tony Minato, our new head coach, I think he could throw a speech out.
Really?
Equivalently as good as Paul Rhodes.
How are football games up there at Iowa State?
I didn't get to, the soccer season kind of, overlaps. We didn't get to go to too many football games. But the ones that we did get to go to were awesome. They were fun, sell out.
Mm-hmm.
We might not have the win at the end of the day, but we do have a great rowdy, support system and great crowds.
Y'all's basketball crowd's pretty entertaining.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Jeez. Hilton Coliseum is like no other place in America, I have to say.
Wow. Maybe one of these... Go for it.
I have had to get, this past year, I had to arrive at a basketball game no later than 2 hours early in order to get in.
Wow.
Into the arena. Yeah. And that is in February, and when it was negative 25 degrees outside. So not fun. But no. Not fun at all.
Not fun.
No, basketball's great. The environment, and I don't want to put down, tech in any way, but that's all I know, obviously from growing up. But Iowa State fans are, and it's due to the fact that we do not have a pro team in the state of Iowa, but Iowa State fans are so passionate.
Mm-hmm.
So passionate. And they put everything and anything behind the team. And I think that's probably one of the things I appreciate the most, is the support that we, every team gets it, but even as a soccer athlete, the support that the community has for you and, just the fans. They're just the best.
Yeah. I see it on TV, and Iowa State is getting good now. They're beating Texas Tech a lot, so not too happy about that. Let's talk some World Cup now. Thoughts on the USA?
USA, I am so proud.
Paul Rhodes? Wait, am I talking to Paul Rhodes?
Yeah. I called him up, I asked him for a few words to give me before the day, but no, I thought the U.S. run was pretty incredible. It was pretty great.
And they played some hard teams. It wasn't like it was an easy run.
It wasn't an easy run. And I will admit, I'll be completely honest, I had my doubts. I think I texted my brother after the draw, and I was like, well, I'm not even going to turn my TV on because this is terrible. But they played tough, and they hung with the best teams in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best performance from that team I've seen, and I only see U.S. soccer, going up from here.
Yeah, you think this is a positive thing, right? Even though we lost, it's still positive.
Yeah, definitely a positive, even though we lost. If you just the youth that we have, on the team, Green coming in like that and scoring right away. Yezlin, what's his name? DeAndre Yezlin, he's, going to be an all-star. Give him a few years. There's just so much talent packed onto that team that, just needs a little more developing. And, we'll put away in Portugal the next time we have them instead of, holding on to the very end. Or, come back and put in a couple of those chances that we had against Belgium yesterday. I think it's it's hard to take a loss. It's heartbreaking. But at the end of the day, you can only take the positives out of it.
And the coach, Klinsmann, you like him?
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. I think I think he's a crazy man. But I think that he knows what he's doing, and he's got something that I guess no other U.S. coach has had, was that he's got that World Cup championship. He's got that World Cup experience.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows what he's doing. He seems to have a great mind in terms of bridging that gap. Obviously, because there is that obviously there's that what everyone talks about is that the U.S. is not up to that level, but he's more than aware of it, and you can tell he's making the moves to close that gap and to put U.S. soccer up there with, the Premier League and, everything else over in Europe.
How about the Donovan decision? Was that something that surprised you?
It was very surprising. I was upset. I was upset. I think that he's old, and I get it. He's never going to give you 90 minutes. But I think he's that rock that the team might have needed, kind of that rally. But at the same time, I think when you think about it too, if Altidore goes out, you're not going to put Landon Donovan in for 90 minutes in the next game. So you win. I think you win some, you lose some. I think he was a gamble, but it was a gamble that leaving him off the roster that I think paid off in the long run.
Mm-hmm. So in 2018, you see good things ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I see good things ahead coming in 2018. I think quarterfinals is more than reasonable.
Okay.
And hopefully we don't get put in the group of death again, that we can breathe a little easier through 3 games instead of holding our breath. But definitely, 2018, I would expect us to be, I would expect World Cup qualifying to come a little easier. I would expect, us to make a run for the World Cup in 2018.
Alrighty, and bringing it back to 2014, who's your favorite right now? Who do you got winning it this year?
Who do I have winning it this year? Well, okay, I'm going to make a confession. I chose Spain to come back and win again, and that happened to be the worst decision of my entire life.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, since their opening game, Colombia, I have not seen a team that looks better than Colombia, I think, on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm. So Colombia?
So Colombia. I think Colombia's, they're going to take it. For some reason, I got it in my gut feeling. Colombia's going to go ahead and win it all.
Alrighty. Yeah. Well, Jennifer, before I let you go, I want to do rapid-fire questions. So I'm going to ask you about 5 questions, and first thing that comes to your mind, just answer them.
Okay.
All right. Kind of have some fun here. What is your go-to karaoke song?
September, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay. Best concert or sporting event you've ever been to, or both?
Concert or sporting event I've ever been to. Concert, Sugarland. Best sporting event I've ever been to was basketball game, Hilton Coliseum, senior night, 2014.
Okay. What is the biggest bar tab you've picked up?
Oh, biggest bar tab I've picked up, $50.
$50, yep. Not a partier. Who's the one person you would be most nervous to meet in life?
Oh, man. Shoot. I don't even know.
Okay.
Maybe Oprah. Maybe Oprah would probably. I'd be nervous to meet Oprah.
All right. And last one. If you were to be on any TV show in history, what would it be?
Any TV show in history, what would it be? I'm gonna just go cheesy and say the Bachelorette.
Okay.
I'd like to be the Bachelorette.
All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Jennifer Dominguez, thank you for spending some time with me talking Iowa State soccer and World Cup soccer. I really do appreciate it.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Maybe we can do it again down the road, one of these days.
Yeah, definitely.
Real quick before you leave, plug your Twitter. Where can they follow you on Twitter at?
Twitter at Jenny Football.
Jenny Football.
Football as in the Spanish word for soccer.
Okay. Are you on Facebook?
And I am on Facebook too.
Okay.
Jennifer Dominguez.
All righty. Jennifer, J. Doe, thank you for coming on the A-Flo show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All righty. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
Goodbye. There you go, guys. Jennifer Dominguez. spending some time with me talking life at Iowa, talking life at Kansas, and good stuff from J-Doe. Go follow her on Twitter at Jenny Football on the Twitter. I'm not being biased because she came on the podcast, but I think she's up there as one of the greatest athletes in Monterey history. Next to a Craig Elo, next to a I don't know. But yeah, so thank you, Jenny. That's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. If Jennifer brought you to this podcast, do me a favor. Go to iTunes and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. It comes to you free every single week, no charge. And you hit the download button, and it comes. And, tell your friends. Tell them on Twitter. Tell them on Facebook that we got a podcast here going on. And, if you liked that interview, we have some more good stuff coming up. So again, thank you. My name is Andreas Flores. You can follow me on Twitter at Andreas Flores. TTU again. Tell all your friends about this podcast. And, we'll be back next week. A lot of World Cup talk next week, I think. The final coming up, so we'll get a guest on talking some soccer. That's going to do it, guys. Since 2013, I've been entertaining myself while you listen. So we'll see you next week. Thank you. Peace.
Never slipping even on the side of a swimming pool. We don't get ridiculed, we get rid of fools. They said I couldn't play football, I was too small. They said I couldn't play basketball, I wasn't tall. They said I couldn't play baseball at all. And now every day of my life I ball.